Hello, everyone. Welcome to our workshop today on the IT Help Desk in Microsoft 365. We've had a couple sessions over the last couple weeks talking about the different aspects of the help desk, how to intake tickets in a couple different ways. And then we talked about last week how those tickets are processed and some notifications that go out after the fact, as we go through the process of the ticket. And today we wanted to focus on the mobility aspect of our solution and wanted to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to be sharing my screen from the phone. Looks like there's some odd things coming up on the phone. You might see some interesting stuff from GoToWebinar, but that's okay. We'll push through it, and I'll just show you what the interface looks like on my phone. So I'm not quite sharing the screen just yet. Again, my name is James Restivo with Crocandian Software, and if you've been on these before, you've heard me say it a number of times, there is a questions box in the GoToWebinar panel. If you're interested in asking any questions at any point in time, feel free to pop into that questions box and ask your question. Or if you have any comments or anything that you want to see in more detail that maybe didn't go into, I didn't go into in great detail, that you want to get a little more insight into. All that's possible, all that's fine. I'm going to be working from my phone for the most part, so if you're raising your hand or popping something in the chat, I may not see it. So please use that questions box. So just to kind of give a quick overview of our help desk solution. It runs in Office 365. It runs on SharePoint on premises. Both possibilities. The way Nitro is designed with the client-side object model, it is mobile friendly for both the 365 world, excuse me, it's there for both the 365 world in the mobility and also in on premises for mobility. So there are some limitations in what you can do with the classic mode of SharePoint, which would be there for 2013, 2016, and in some cases 2019. But that is a limitation that SharePoint had, and we did build some responsiveness around our tools anyway, so there is some responsiveness even in the classic mode. Modern mode in SharePoint does lend itself much better to mobile interface. But what I want to show you today is just some of the various screens and that we have, that how they look in the mobile device, and also show you how you can go through and have someone submit a ticket through a mobile device, update a ticket through a mobile device, even going so far as looking at Teams as a possibility of your mobile device. So we're actually going to see a couple different things today. I'm sharing my screen. You see the GoToWebinar screen there. So if you can't see my screen, let me know, and we'll, I'll reshare, unshare, reshare, whatnot. But anyway, so we're looking at the screen. This is our help desk portal demo site. So just kind of show you what it looks like in the mobile device, different things you can do with it, different things you can click on as you go through it, and how you can update tickets and update things through here. So you might have some cases where your technicians are on the go. Maybe if you have field technicians, you can have them update tickets through the mobile device. We're going to look at this from the browser interface. We're also going to look at it from the SharePoint app. We do get kicked over to the SharePoint app occasionally. The phone just kind of decides to do that. It's fine. It works in the browser, works in the SharePoint app. And we're also going to look at you accessing this through Teams, because we get that question a lot. What's your Teams integration? And we're going to dig into that in a little more detail with the Nitro bot and all that in a later session. But on this one today, I will show you some things that you can do with Teams that may work for you, but it does put you in the context of Teams. So first of all, what we're showing here is our help desk portal. So it looks just like the desktop portal, and with the elements on it, same color scheme. Basically, you just scroll through and see these different buttons. And if you wanted to submit a new ticket for any one of these categories, the user just has to click it. It's going to pop open onto their screen, and you can see it's right size for their device, and actually looks pretty nice. So you can come in here and enter some information into the title field. Their keyboard pops up, and you can see that. All the category and issue type options. There's the priority option, which I clicked accidentally, but there it comes. I'll bring it back. So choice fields brings up nice interface for them to enter their details. There's the ticket details that they can enter in there as well. And then they could also even select files and do attachments right from their mobile device, all right there. So they can easily submit their ticket. You can see it's already pulling in who it is, and same thing it would do on a desktop. So there's no difference there in how you're getting the information into the ticket from the desktop versus the mobile device. Back on this screen, we'll have the menu items will be listed a little bit differently, as you can see on the screen, but they're still there. And the home screen is what we were just looking at. The submit new ticket is basically going to be what we just looked at with that calendar reminder to submit it. So we'll just let that open up, and then I'll go ahead and cancel it back out. And then at any point in time, you see that this, we call it hamburger menu. I think that's the standard term for it. It's kind of funny, but it's a hamburger menu in the upper right. You see where it changed to the X. I don't have a cursor, unfortunately, to show you, but you can see here, I'm clicking that where the X is now, it turns back to those 3 lines. That's the hamburger menu. So we click back over here. There's a view my ticket screen. Now, one of the nice things here in our tool that we have is this nicer kind of mobile interface. And I'll show you what this list view looks like when it's not configured for the mobile interface. It is, a little bit different, but this gives you more of the Power App. If you use Power Apps, this is kind of more of the Power Apps style of list view, where you have the title of the ticket at the top, the 88 and the 85, 84, those are all case ID numbers. We can configure what we show here as well. So if you have different information you want to put here, you can configure that in the list view. I'll pop over to my desktop screen and show you that before we end the workshop. But I do want to show you those are configurable. The requester is in there. It's pulling in their email for some reason, but that's the requester email, the cookingin@365.com. And then there's the assign status, basically the request status. We have 4 fields on, 3. I mean, you could put 4, you could put 5, you can have as many as you want, but you're going to be limited to some degree on the size of the screen that you're working with. If the search button up here actually works really nicely, because it will auto filter as we go through. So if I just start typing in everything's assigned or unassigned. Let me do unassigned. You can see it automatically filters out those assigned statuses because they're no longer coming up. And you see having an issue pops up right to the top. That's the only one. So the search is really great too to pull up your whatever ticket you're trying to access. So it does an automatic immediate search, and you get right to the ticket that you need to deal with. And again, we are coming at this from the end user perspective, but this type of view could also be there for your technicians who are working these tickets. So this will work the same on the portal side. It'll work the same as the back end, and I'll show you what that looks like. They could also search the knowledge base. So of course they have that link over here to do a KB search and pull up the KB article. I'm just going to click on the can't connect to email one, and that's going to bring up their knowledge base. Again, right sizes it for the size of the screen. So it does a lot of, it makes it look really nice for your mobile device. Nice for your mobile device. There you go. Dashboard, of course, is going to have some reports on it. And I'll just let that pop open real quick so you can see what that looks like. You get the search at the top. You got the tickets by status. You've got your tickets by category. All that's in here, and you'll see all that stuff. Again, right size for the screen. So all looks really good. So this is great for the end user, for them to come in. It's got all the same bells and whistles that you get with the desktop version of the portal. So they can come in and do what they need to do with as far as submitting tickets, seeing updates to their existing tickets. Editing, that's one thing we didn't go into. Let me do that real quick. Go back to this view my ticket screen, and we're going to open up one of these items, and you can see there's the information right in front of them, and they can hit the edit button on here and make some changes. Of course, this just brings up the work log, but that's okay. We can have other fields there too when needed. But that's basically it. I mean, that's what they can do with the mobile portal in this interface. So what we're going to do now is pop over to the backend site, and I have that open up as another tab here. So you see it does the same thing where it takes those tiles that we have on the screen and puts them on top of each other. So we have that going down like that. We have those reports, same thing, same web part essentially coming in here, and you can see that it looks looks the same as you would on the portal. Again, the portal is just a SharePoint page. You have all the links over here on the left. You can pull those open, and if I go to this all tickets one, you'll see now from the back end side, the technician will have the same kind of mobile mode of this list view that they can go and pull up their tickets and see what they are. They can also run all the actions that they needed to, from self-assigning, closing it out, all the things that they have in the desktop version, they'll have right here, because it's basically the same thing, just rendered a little bit differently. So this one right at the top, you can see it's in the assigned status. We're going to pop that open. And you can see it's got all the information. It's got all those tabs across the top as well that we normally have. And then you see all the custom actions that you can run from here as well. So they're all available, all visible right from here for you. So if we go ahead to a different one, let me just hit the back button. It goes back to here. So let me go back to my all tickets screen. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up this one now. Internet is not working. The second one in that list. And now I'm going to do the self-assign when this comes up. For some reason it's rendering a little slower this time around. Not sure why. That's okay. I'll just do a quick refresh and maybe I'll kick it into gear. All right, there we go. Maybe I just clicked too quickly. I like to move around a little too fast sometimes, but here we go. Pop it back open. Hit the ellipsis over there. So that's coming from those 3 dots that you see on the right-hand side. And we're going to do the self-assign. And it brings up the screen. Again, sized for the device. Does the action, only just one action, then we close it out and it's done. It's going to refresh and bring us back to that view of the list. So now you see it changed that ticket number 87 from unassigned to assigned. Same, we do the having an issue one. Let's do this, assigned to someone else. Gonna pop this open. It pulls in Active Directory. Let's pull up something else. Let me pull up Pavon. I don't know why it's pulling in the other stuff. Let me pull up Pavon, hit OK. And then assigns to that person. So close out of that. Good. Now we can go, if we go back into having an issue number 85, you'll see that it is assigned to Pavan. You see assigned staff right there. And the assignment date just happened in Pacific time. So there you go. So all that stuff's there. If the technician needs to make an update, there's the edit button, the little pencil icon. We can pop that open and they can make some edits to this as needed. We can get rid of that keyboard, give them a little more space until they're ready to actually type something in. And then they can come over to staff, maybe make an update to the priority. Like they put this in as high, but it's really a normal priority. It's not a big issue. They could also put the due date on there. You can see the calendar kind of renders pretty nicely in the mobile device. Let's do a due date of tomorrow. And ultimately, if it comes to a resolution, as a choice field, it comes up like this, which looks pretty nice, gives them good, big, they're not like small text on the screen that's hard to view. It's right there, big and bold for them to take a look at. So cool, yeah. So there's different things you can do. We can save that if we're ready, and it's going to just bring us back to that ticket form, and then we can just close out of that. Just hit the back button there. It brings us back to the screen. Now, if I click on this Open Tickets tile, for some reason it brings me to the SharePoint app. You'll see the top area change to that kind of teal blue, tealish green area, kind of color. This means we're now in the SharePoint app, but the view looks the same, right? So the view is going to be the same in the SharePoint app versus the regular browser page. So it doesn't really matter which one you're in, it's going to look the same. We have that same search bar at the top. So if we want to search for everything where Pavon is associated with that ticket, you can see it pulls up all the Pavon ones. If we want to bring up anything related to printers, we can do the same thing, do printer. Yeah, same thing. Pop that open, make any edits we need to, run some actions as needed. All done. Again, this is not an emulator. This is my mobile device. I'm actually using my mobile device here. So you can see it's got some cool things. The SharePoint app I know has a little bit of limitations, so we do recommend using the browser for the most part. But you do have another option here as well with the mobile world, is to actually put your information in Teams and put some pages in Teams. And there is a Nitro bot, which I said we'll go through in more detail when we talk about the Teams integration piece of this series. But another way you can do this, and let me pop over to Teams here. I have it open over on this side. We have a tab. Just going to jump back for a second to the list of teams. We put a channel in here, a team in here. It's called Crooked Demo Sites. And we put some tabs under this general tab. And you can see what we put here under the More link. You'll see the homepage, submit new ticket, view my tickets. So now you're in the context of teams, and you can go to your homepage, and it's going to be the same portal homepage that you've seen before, right? So we just looked at all this. There's all the same links. The same thing. It's basically the same as going through your browser or even going through the SharePoint app. You can go through Teams. It kind of all three work pretty much essentially the same. We have the submit new ticket link. It's going to bring up the same thing we saw before. We've got the view my ticket screen. Same idea. We can see what is pending. What is open. Oops. Sorry about that. I think my son is trying to give me a call. You can see it literally is my screen. So apologize for that. And then let's go to hit the back button here. We'll go to the knowledge base. You can see the knowledge base here, and then there's also the dashboard. Kind of same thing we saw before. So I apologize for that. I don't know why people are trying to call me while I'm trying to do a webinar. Like, stop. But anyway, that's okay. So that's kind of the rundown of what you can do with mobile. It's almost like everything everything that you can do with the desktop is here in the mobile device, rendered in a slightly different way, but in a better way sometimes. I actually kind of like it. I've done some work even with our internal CRM recently that's all on SharePoint that we built ourselves. I've done some work through the mobile world, and it works great. I mean, it's a way to make sure that your users are able to submit tickets in any way they can. This applies not just to our help desk, but to all the applications we offer, the work order system, the purchasing system, the onboarding solution, any Nitro thing that you want to put in place. I mean, it's got that mobility aspect to it. And you can build that for whatever you need. And so, I think I think it's going to work nice for you guys if you get in there. Just use it on the mobile device. If there's any feedback, I know there are some gaps in things that don't look quite right the way they should, and we'll have to, we're working on improving those things if there are any gaps. But if you find any, if you're using this today and you find any gaps in your use, something's missing, doesn't look right, doesn't render correctly, please let us know. We'll get it fixed as soon as we can. All that stuff is top of our list to make sure we're fully capable, fully engaged in the mobile world. So again, appreciate everyone coming on today to take a look at this. It's really, that was the focus today, was just to talk about these mobile interfaces and what that looks like for, for our help desk solution. Again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to pop them into the questions box. Otherwise, I think we're just going to end it for a little bit early. I think we covered what we need to cover. And again, if you have any questions afterwards, that you haven't asked, feel free to pop them over my way. Happy to answer any questions you have at any point in time. Again, appreciate everyone's time today. I'll leave it open for just a minute or so before closing out the webinar, see if any questions pop in. But again, appreciate your time today, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.